Removing inactive subscribers is a key element when it comes to maintaining the hygiene of your mailing list. It is a good practice that positively impacts the performance of email marketing activities. The first step in executing this task is to individually determine who inactive users are. To achieve this, two elements need to be identified. The first element is a segment through which we will identify a specific group of inactive emails. The second element is a workflow that will automatically remove inactive users. Let's start by creating a segment. From the main menu on the left, select Subscribers, then choose the Segments function. Click on Create New Segment. In the segment definition, add Send Restrictions to specify to whom we have sent messages of any type, how many times in the last days. For the purposes of this tutorial, let's assume a less restrictive assumption, cleaning the mailing list by removing users who have not been active in the last 3 months. Let's set that we have sent a message at least 3 times in the last 180 days. However, the answer to the question of who inactive users are is individual for each client. It depends on the company's communication intensity and how its recipients typically behave. Next, add a second condition in 2 variants. Either there was no activity in those 180 days, or the user's activity date is older than 180 days. Then click on Add Operand and choose in Select Subscribers where any of the following apply, and click on Add Field Restrictions. Here, select Last Activity Days is empty, and Last Activity Day is more than 180 days past. Now, one of these 2 conditions must be met to remove the specifically identified inactive users. Save the segment and proceed to create the workflow. From the main menu on the left, choose Workflows and click on Create New Workflow. In the drag and drop editor, designate the first element as Start Event and specify the trigger of the scenario as Scheduled to run the workflow daily. Choose the segment created earlier. Specify that the scenario should run every day, and in the system, verify that the calendar is filled correctly. Choose to make the automation run continuously every month by clicking Select All. Next, drag the API call and connect it to the Start event. In the Expert Sender documentation under the Delete Subscriber chapter, find instructions on how to configure the API to remove subscribers. Copy one of these addresses. If you want to apply the removal of inactive users to all lists, choose the first link. If you want to specify a particular list for cleaning, choose the second link. If you want to specify a particular subscription and list for cleaning, choose the third link. For this tutorial, copy the first link and return to the API call element in the system. Choose the API call type as delete and paste the copied link from the instructions. The email address must be dynamic, so remove johndoeidomain.com from the copied URL and change the tag by clicking the tagging icon. Here, copy the phrase subscriber email and substitute it into the template. In the call URL, you also need to substitute the appropriate API key. Click on the main menu on the left, choose Settings, and select the business unit. Then, go to the API tab. Now, create a new key for the workflow of removing inactive users. Check the Subscribers Delete Subscriber box. Now, copy the API key, return to the workflow, and paste it in the appropriate place. This element is now ready. The last step is to add the end event element and connect it to the API call. That's all. At this point, you can save and launch the workflow for removing inactive users.